always somebody trying to try me. There's always somebody. There's always somebody who wanna get grimy. There's always somebody. There's always somebody who wanna get messy. I'm clocking and shiny. I keep it for somebody who will test me. There's always somebody. There's always somebody.
Yeah, here we go, y'all. Welcome to another Barbershop and MICZ featuring Bro Mike, Brooklyn PHATZ, and J.Mac in the building, though. We would like to welcome our first lady to Barbershop and MICZ and everything like that. No value be important and everything, though. So here we go, girl. The floor is yours.
How y'all doing?
What's up? I'm doing fine. All is well.
What was that? You doing all right, Bro Mike? You doing all right?
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm excited to be here today with y'all. So we're gonna start off today. I know you guys are used to having J.Mac thoughts on the second half of the show, so this time we're gonna try it out on the first half. So,
okay.
All right.
Yeah, is that all right with y'all?
Absolutely.
Go ahead, take the floor.
Cool. No, I kind of wanted to talk about what it's kind of a not difficult, but it's kind of a strange subject sometimes, and I wanted to address it with you guys because I like to hear y'all opinion on this. Mm-hmm. Well, what do y'all think about therapy in the Black community? Do you feel like we seek out mental health? Like, do you feel like we seek out mental health therapy enough? Do you think we should have more access to mental health therapy? Do you think it's important at all? Do you think we need it? So what's y'all thoughts on that?
Who's gonna go with that first?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only you and PHATZ. You go, Mike.
Yeah. You know what? In New York City alone, we definitely need that. It's a ground rule effect that we need this. Okay. We need this though for the homeless though. We need this for people with psychological indifferences and stuff like that. We need this though for NYPD and whatnot. I believe that though, if it's enforced, it could bring out a more better balance and whatnot though in the whole deal. Like a reform. You know, you just don't have to be an NYPD cop to get reformed. You can be a reform as being a citizen as well. And everything. I believe that it would really, really help out big time and everything like that, you know, especially in today's crisis from last year, though, to this year. It's definitely needed. And one more thing. And with civil service jobs and state jobs, I would like for this, what I love about the podcast name is because we can share our views and you never know, a politician might be just listening and taking notes. All civil service jobs and state jobs and government jobs need to have that. Okay, that definitely.
So you bring up a good point, Bro Mike, because one of the things that I was thinking about was the increase in incidents of like psychologically damaging things that have been going on. We got the pandemic. We got all the murdering, the killing, not just among our community, but the seemingly attack on the Black community in itself. So the difficulties in the Black community and I, being in the mental health field, I kind of see that it's related to like kind of a lack of access, so to speak, to appropriate. And when I say appropriate, I mean like culturally what I call culturally responsive mental health care. The type that's going to directly impact us, that's going to directly help us, our children, our providers, our workers, that's going to speak to our specific trauma that we deal with in the Black community. So moreover, it's like, we exist kind of in an intersection of not only racism, lack of health care, inequalities in the workforce, classism. We are dealing with all that. Our mental health needs are often pretty much exacerbated by all those things, and we are mostly unfulfilled And so that's why I wanted to kind of speak on this subject and kind of get you guys or get some of the viewers even comments or what they thought on that in particular, and what we could say. I mean, what we can do, going forward to change that up.
Well, I feel that basically everybody should get mental health or mental counseling, because some situations we deal with, we cannot handle it on our own, and we know the answer, but we need somebody to lock the answer in for us to make us feel comfortable with the person we is, and the things that we are going through, because everybody don't respond to a critical situation the same. Some people, it may depress them. Some people are built strongly to handle anything, and some people have tough skin. So my suggestion is, yes, they would need, the black community do need counseling and mental therapy, because I'm an example of it. When I was dealing with women, and to a point where my heart has been broken and it gets to me mentally, I did have to seek mental counseling to find out, did I really have a mental problem, or it was just what I was going through. And then the therapist told me, say, that you're not crazy or you don't have no psychological issues. It's just you have to remove the problems away that you're dealing with, or the people who causing problems. So you have to remove them out of your life, and seek more counseling to help you deal with the situation.
Did you willingly go to see that provider, PHATZ, when you were going through what you were going through?
Yes, I did.
Did you make that decision, or somebody encouraged you to?
No, I did, because I was feeling depressed. I was just feeling heartbroken and feeling discouraged.
Yeah. And I want to say what's up and give a shout out to Envy from our Queens of NYC podcast. Welcome.
No doubt. What's up, ladies?
Thank you, Envy, for checking in.
Yes, I also want to shout out really quickly our sponsors, Sayings by Butter and Garrett on J.Mac. And then I also want to point out that Shauna Dunn, he said that he's going to be needing some help after COVID. And then Envy, she said it's not really about counseling, it's mostly about guidance in areas. And if I'm not mistaken, Envy, you can correct me, I think she's kind of going back to what I was saying about our specific areas of need, and making sure that we are able to get the help that we specifically need to help our issues. If you don't mind me asking, PHATZ, was your provider, was it a black provider, or did that?
It was a Caucasian provider. It was a Caucasian provider.
Okay.
And see the thing. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, go ahead.
And I feel that us as in the black community, and the reason why they scared that people will make fun of them, or they figure that they strong enough, they can deal with anything. But that's not true. Everybody goes through changes in life that they have no control over. Now, go ahead, J.Mac.
Yeah, I agree. I was just gonna say, the thing about it is, we go and we see some people. I'm a firm believer that we can go through things and we can help somebody with that when we go through it. People are able to educate themselves and gear themselves up to support people. And I don't take away from any type of medical professional, no matter what their race is. But there is it's given that the black community, we can all agree that we exist in such a realm that we have certain issues, certain insecurities, certain experiences that are not dealt with people outside of our community, that are not experienced by people outside of our community. Therefore, I find it hard to believe at times that they are able to adequately support us in our time of trouble, in our time of need, specifically with mental health. And that's just my thoughts on the thing, because you know, just like violence and criminal justice, if I'm sitting with a provider, a white male provider who has never experienced their family being broken up by the criminal justice system, that is clearly and blatantly not on our side. You know, how can you support me adequately and telling me exactly how I feel or what I could do to, you know, strengthen myself mentally in that? I also believe that that's something that Shauna Don mentioned just now, that we as Black people are sometimes scared to go to doctors. I think that that's the very reason. Some of us are not able to adequately communicate that we don't feel like they could help us. But I feel like that's what kind of scares us off from going to see a provider. Research actually shows that the Black community, the adult Black community, is actually 20% more likely to experience serious mental health problems, and that's big. That's huge.
Because they don't want to get no help.
Yeah.
They don't want to get no help. They thinking they can solve the problem.
It's a mix. It's mixed barrels. You know, it's people that are hiding under a rock, if you will, with the concept though, versus people that maybe they need some special help. They need some leadership to be able to be guided. You know, we're talking about a city that's mixed in with a lot of different dialects of people, and you know, and it's just a thing to where it's just like though. I definitely support that though. I definitely support it though. You know, we need it though. You know, even for those that need to be led.
Yep. And with all of this emerging and coming forward, I want to shout out to Mike Murray. How you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. With the emerging evidence of like what we're dealing with in our community as far as mental health, anxiety, depression, things like that, PTSD, it's more important than ever for us to realize that seeking out help is not a form of weakness. And that brings me to my next thought, is that we often avoid getting help from our providers because we see it kind of as a form of weakness. We've been trained to fight through, like even historically, I think about learning about slavery and learning about, you know, our ancestors who were forced to work through things, were forced to, you know, put their pain, put their agony to the side so that they could get what needed to be done. And I think we're somewhat in that same mindset even today, where we feel like it's a form of, we don't want to show that we're weak. We don't want to show that we're vulnerable. We don't want to show that we need this help, you know. And who are we trying to impress, or who are we trying to hide from is my question, you know.
Well, the reason why we trying to hide it, because we feel that we gotta prove to people that we are tough individuals. Everybody have a sensitive side to them. Everybody, man, woman, child. And some of us at times get to a point we don't know how to deal with that side. So we gotta put on a facade.
Yeah.
And we gotta always stay in character instead of just being ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with if you got a problem and you need to seek some type of help outside of your family, outside of, you know, friends and stuff. It's nothing wrong with that. That's not gonna change you or make you be afraid or take away from your image. It just, you just may need more help than others do. You may need somebody to turn to give you a listening ear. When everybody can give you advice, but that don't mean they're gonna follow the advice. They might be giving you the wrong advice, or they just might want to contribute to your downfall, or contribute to your depression. All advice is not good advice.
Right.
And you bring up a great point, because I was just thinking about the fact that historically, when we look at the historical context of how the medical system has done, as far as abuse to Black people, there's so much on that.
I got an idea.
From experimentation,
Mhm.
to lack of access to adequate health care. I think about what was it, the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's culturally I think we're kind of scared straight, so to speak.
Yeah.
What Mike Murray said, oh, he
That
said,
if I need the help,
he said
I'm
he's asking for
asking.
help. He
I
don't
don't
have
have
a,
a S on my
and
chest.
that,
Uh,
it's hard for a lot of people to be that
hmm.
mature, Mike Murray.
Right.
It's hard for a lot of people to be not. It's not. I don't even want to say maturity. I want to say it's different reasons, right? You have the financial burden of healthcare. You have some people aren't even able to get health insurance. Some people, I'll speak to like the fact that some people don't even know how to apply for health insurance, right?
Yeah.
Mike mentioned earlier our homeless population. A lot of our homeless population is out in the woods. They're out in the street, and they don't know that they have access to free health care. They have access to things that can help them, to
Mm-hmm.
get back on
And,
track.
and
But because
mhm.
of the history of discrimination,
Yes.
and everything in the mental health system, that's enough to make somebody be like, nah, I'll pass.
Yeah, you know what? I have some more ideas I want to bring to the table, and
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
also for the viewers as well.
Okay.
Hopefully, we have some politicians that still listening. What they need to do is have, I like to use a cliche called the Get Help team or the Get Help units.
Mm-hmm.
They need to dispatch and throughout the 5 boroughs, units of mental health physicians and stuff like that to be able to, get with the people in the street. Like for example, yeah, again, the homeless, J.Mac, you know what I'm saying? Homeless is out there and stuff like that, though. They're down on their luck and they need some type of support. A team of physicians out there, in the mental health field would be a plus. I mean, just imagine that a team that's rolling out though, getting out there with the people and everything like that though. And listen, here's the thing. I got that idea from the COVID,
Okay.
thing. When you see COVID vans coming out and stuff like that though, and giving free COVID,
That is correct.
yes, they need to distribute out though units, and do all the 5 boroughs, okay, though, because maybe some people don't have insurance. How about this idea? How about connecting? You know how we still see, okay, y'all, the insurance companies, um, the vans are still out there, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because
But
sorry, looking
okay.
fats because you used to live out here though, but it's still rolling. You know what I'm saying? J.Mac, you might have seen it, quite a few times and stuff like that. Insurance, health insurance vehicles on the move. What they need to do is
Right.
combine that. Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
combine that together, and I believe that will be a pickup and everything like that. Though I know, and I really want for these politicians, mayoral politicians, to really catch wind of this. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter who's in the lead, second or third. The fact of the matter is that take my idea and use it.
So you bring up a great point, bro, Mike. And then one of our viewers, Sean, he chimed in and he said we did great with Obamacare, and then he's also
Mm-hmm.
asking where's the money from that going to come from. And that brings me to my next thought about
Mm-hmm.
talking about the systematic barriers that we're dealing with. And it's very clear that we're disproportionately impacted by the mental health. It's okay. So for example, here goes some numbers, y'all. 12% of the United States population that are over are excuse me the black community is roughly 12% of the United States population, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we're also overrepresented in what's called high risk populations, and those are
Mm-hmm.
just that's a fancy way of saying the groups that are impacted by negative occurrences, right? Our homeless population, our lower socioeconomic groups. For example, you have the black community comprises approximately 40% of the homeless population.
Mm.
40%, right?
Wow.
50% of the prison population. 50% of the prison population, right? You got 45% of the Black community of our children who are in the foster care system. 45%, okay? And then research shows also that the exposure to the violence, our exposure to incarceration, our exposure to involvement in the foster care system is increased. You know, it's increased by the development of mental illness.
Correct.
And you know, and so it's like consequently the Black community in particular, it's like we're increased for developing the mental health risk just because of who we are historically. It doesn't even have to be us refusing treatment. It doesn't even have to be us not having access. Just because of historically having melanin in our skin, we're more susceptible to having mental illness issues.
But it's not only in New York. It's not only in New York.
No, not just in New York. I'm talking about
it's in Virginia. Yeah. It's where you at. It's here
everywhere.
too.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
All over the globe. It's not just
New
York.
Yeah. Well, everywhere. We need to disperse. You know, I had just mentioned New York and everything, but you know what? That's a valuable point, y'all. Everywhere it's going on.
It don't only affect those places. It affects everybody.
We need, you know, units to expand. We need these units to go cross country then, if that's the case.
Yeah.
You know, we need to get in. You know, we need to roll with the you know, insurance companies. You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, the medical insurance companies, you know, like, you know, the different ones and stuff like that that's out there, you know, for different people's you know, capability and stuff like that, or financial situations, you know. We need that. Yeah.
But you got to look at this too.
Mm-hmm.
It goes to show too that the Black population is not as valuable as all the other populations, and you got to limit it because we dominate most of all the other races.
Yeah.
So they figure by us not helping y'all, we can eliminate your percentage, a good percentage of y'all. So by them not giving us help or giving us the tools we need to work with to get through these conditions, it's way for them to knock us off. And the government plays a part in that. Everything have to meet a quota.
Yeah.
And you know, they throw away billions and billions of dollars on nonsense of still in helping the people. And you know, that's money they can help for the people to get medical coverage, medical insurance, even though people don't have jobs and stuff like that. Though they can put a budget together so these people can get the help they need, the counseling they need, the coverage they need. And you know, they really don't care because that's not important to them. Like, okay, you going to other countries starting war. You putting billions and billions of dollars in nuclear war and guns and knives and weapons and to that, or assault to fight wars, or go to other countries and solve their problem when the problem is in your own backyard. You're ignoring the fact of that.
Right. When that needs to be fixed, you know, that's anything in your backyard, you know, politically, that needs to be fixed. That needs to be handled because it's going to get out of control. You know,
well, it's already out of control.
You know,
if you really want to look at it,
we as Black people are suffering for centuries. We've been suffering over and over and over. You know, and you know, we need to change. But how many times are we going to keep saying we need to change? You know,
because you know what,
action needs to be happening. I mean,
I think we're afraid of change. I think we really are afraid of change.
No, I think it has something to do with the, like you were saying about the flaws with the government and everything like that. Because if that was the case, that would have been already implemented. You see what I'm saying, my brother?
Yeah, but you got to look at it. The poor is not worth anything. They cannot bring nothing to the table. See, only the rich can bring something to the table. So they the one who make the shots and make the call.
Right.
How many times in your neighborhood, the neighborhood y'all have lived in, how many rich people you ever seen or politician ever came through your neighborhood and examined your neighborhood?
Hardly.
Huh?
I've seen that before.
haven't seen
I've
any.
seen it, but I haven't seen much action afterwards. I've seen them
Exactly.
there,
Right.
you know. And one of our viewers, Mike, um, he said, yeah, if you could roll out a mobile van, um, what he said, oh, he said you could roll out a mobile van for like mental health services. And then, you know, where another one of our viewers, he's asking, where's the money going to come from? And that brings us back to, you know, the whole discussion about reappropriating funds, reestablishing where these funds are going to. One of our viewers, Sean, he said 20 grand to build a gun, 40 grand for a missile. You know,
Yeah, I see his
he
point.
also mentioned that where the U.S. helps more countries than a little bit, but the focus is just not on us. You know, and
Right.
I say that, and I'll go even further to say, especially not on the Black community. You know,
Right.
so
Because
you
they
know,
they mean nothing to them. That's why they don't help the Black community.
Right.
Because all they say, well, let them die. We don't care. Whatever sickness
Mm-hmm.
they got, let them die.
Mm-hmm.
Why should we take time out? They only trying to kill themselves off anyway. Because look at it. Look at how they look at us as animals.
Right.
We on the news.
yeah.
We killing one another. We selling drugs to one another. We raping our women. And we just doing all the unnecessary thing, instead trying to unite and get together and help one another.
Yeah.
If one comes
But we're
up,
not the only ones doing that. Pat. We're not the only
but
ones doing
it's
that.
affecting
And that has
the
a lot.
Black
And those things
community.
those things that you mentioned that we doing, it has a lot to do with what? Mental illness. Who in their right
Exactly.
mind commits crimes, right?
Oh
Or
man,
who in
them,
their right mind? Who in their right mind does some, you know, those types of things? So that
Right.
brings me to, you know, what can we do? What can we do, right? The purpose of all this discussion in general is like, where can we go from here? I think we can all agree that help is needed. You know,
oh
help
yeah,
is needed. And,
Well, you know
and
what? Yeah, Congress knows about all of this jazz. You know, really, Congress, they know, because they know, like, from the president, you know, implementing about XYZ amount of money for relief of COVID, you know, for vaccinations, right? All right. They know about XYZ amount of money for the war against guns and this and that and the third. So we need to be noticed. You know, we need to be noticed and everything, and it's just
hello.
not happening. You know.
well, I will say this though. It is a lot of things, a lot of changes that need to happen on the political level. There are a lot of changes that also need to happen within us. And just like PHATZ mentioned, our inability to unite has a lot to do with this as well. You know, what is a culture? What is culture? What is culture? Culture is, to me, is like your norm, your values, your beliefs, our language, how we talk to each other, right? That plays a vital role in our everyday lives, right?
Yeah.
But we just got to incorporate that in everything, including our mental health.
Yeah.
That's what being culturally responsive is about. You know, it's about making sure that our providers have the ability to recognize and understand the role of our culture. You know, and one big thing about that is us being able to do for ourselves, right? Y'all know I call myself. I say now that I agree with the separatist community, right? You know, but you know, even above that, it's about, for me, even moving within the realm of the mental health community. It's important for us to kind of look at a few things, or kind of those of us that are scared. I encourage you to, you know, go and seek out help when you need it. But I do have a few tips that you can use when you're trying to seek out, like, what's called a culturally responsive provider, and somebody that could possibly help us in the Black community a little bit more. So those tips are, the first one is making sure that you're kind of doing your research and you're asking questions, the providers that you're trying to seek out, the therapist that you're trying to look for, the counselor, that make sure that you're asking them questions about their treatment approaches, okay? And if they provide care, including care that's specific to your culture, right? Also, next, you want to kind of seek out attention from someone who's aware of your identities, right? That, what I mean by that is, if you have a diagnosis, if you've been told at any point in your life that you have depression, anxiety, or anything like that, you want to try to relate to somebody who specializes in that area. Also, excuse me, you also want to be mindful that some providers don't use certain methods that involve cultural treatment frameworks. So you want to ensure that your provider is actually culturally responsive and respectful, at least to who you are. Okay. I'll never forget, I spoke with a client before who told me that she saw a provider, a therapist that she believed to be racist. And my first thought was, well, why did you think that, that the provider was racist? And everything that she explained to me, it didn't sound like, she didn't tell me anything specific that they blatantly said that was racist, but she did explain what she explained to me, it just seemed that they didn't culturally understand her. And that was no fault of the provider, so to speak, as much as we have to take control of ourselves, and we have to take control and advocate for ourselves in the sense that we have the power to do this. Like we can find somebody that is going to be specifically fitting to our needs. So, and that just covers one portion of the whole mental.
Well, that goes back to what you were saying. She said she believed that he was racist. Maybe he didn't say it, but the movement and the action and the way how he welcomed her into the office or welcomed her in. Sometimes you don't have to speak it verbally, but you can make a person feel like that.
Right.
You can, from your presentation.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that he wasn't racist. Yeah. What I'm saying is, like, what she described to me, it sounded like more of a just ignorance. And that's what racism is.
I'm sorry to cut you short. It's time. What we gotta do. We gotta go pay these bills.
No doubt.
All right. What's up, the Queens?
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
And we're back.
Yes, we're back, y'all. Yes, indeed. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. Come on.
I want to say it like this, though. Going back to like what J.Mac was saying, about we gotta, empower ourselves and do the research. But something, y'all?
What's up?
I've been a native New Yorker for 51 years in my life, though.
Wow.
And it's like the belly of the beast. So when you know New York, you know like your own keys to your car or your house, correct? Am I right, y'all?
Yeah.
So my point is this. I still feel that they need to get these new teams, these doctors, out in the street. Kick it with the homeless people. Kick it with the people, who are mentally ill, mentally challenged and everything like that. And reward them help. Now, where we gonna get the money from, though? Listen, again, we have to get this money up and everything. Politicians have to, exercise that, and the Congress has to, at least do what they got to do. And stuff like that.
They can create a package
because
the White House can create a package.
Absolutely,
for these people to get help.
And I guarantee y'all that in these major cities, that will make a major impact of increase, improvement.
Yep, and one of our listeners, he commented, like he said, we gotta stop looking for them to do for us. We gotta start concentrating on our own people and get our money up, And so I was having a conversation the other day about that. Like, what are we gonna do? What's the plan to get us bigger? What's the plan to get us better as a community? What's the plan for us to be able to afford these things and be able to do for ourselves, right? I think one of the things that is kind of overlooked is that we kind of don't necessarily plan out strategies, and we don't like Brooklyn Fat said earlier, we don't unite enough.
Sands by Butters. Geared up for
Mm-hmm.
J.Mac.
J.Mac Lane. Mm-hmm.
Oh, y'all want okay, sorry y'all. We gotta shout out our sponsors. Sands by Butter and Gear Up on J.Mac Lane.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The last thing I wanted to say, I'm gonna wrap up J-Mac's thoughts because we going a little over my time, and I know y'all ready to talk about something else. But the last thing I want to say about this subject is, you know, we have to get in the mindset that we can do for ourselves. And we can't sit around, we can't wait for somebody to put something on the platter for us. That includes mental health, especially mental health. If you're suffering, I encourage you not to suffer in silence, not to suffer alone. The suicide rates are alarming in our community, especially with our Black men, our young Black men.
No
and
doubt.
I just
And women.
Absolutely.
And women.
Yes, our women as well. I just want to say that if you are suffering, if you take nothing else away from this, please get help. Don't be afraid. Don't be embarrassed. We all need some help sometimes. You know, every single person has anxiety inside of them. Every single person has dealt with depression. It's not something to be embarrassed about. Seek out help. Seek out help and do your research. And if you need help, you can ask somebody. Call one of us. You know, call in on the side, message us on the side, reach out. You know, that that brings me to my next thing. Sorry, y'all. Make sure you can call in at 929-441-2417 if you want to hit us up. We can talk to you.
Big up to Mike Murray.
Big ups to Mike
Murray.
One of our faithful listeners. We love to give you a comment. But
so
y'all, thank y'all for J-Mac's thoughts.
No doubt.
Come on,
great stuff.
Big up to J.Mac.
Yeah.
But see, we're going to keep it on the same topic. We're going to keep this on the same topic. I want to run this past y'all. I don't know, have y'all seen this movie? To me, it's a very heart-touching movie. Did y'all happen to see Fatherhood? Did anybody happen to see Fatherhood?
I still haven't watched it.
I would recommend. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. And why I would say it's a good movie, because this goes out to all the single mothers, all the single fathers, all the mother and fathers. That it's a good knowledge and it's good nourishment to your mental. It show you we need to applaud our baby mamas, our women, for dealing with so much they have to deal with when it comes to kids. And you know, for those fathers who is not fortunate to be in their child's life because due to whatever miscommunication, whatever problems they're going through with the baby mamas, I really take my hat off to them, because this movie had really touched me. It was about a man who was married and he lost his wife due to her giving birth.
Wait a minute. This is a spoiler alert, y'all. If y'all ain't seen it, y'all want to see it, press pause real quick. But don't go nowhere. Come right back. Go ahead, bro.
Okay. This basically tell you that it takes two to raise kids. It's not only one person. It may seem like that because of whatever you and the baby mama going through, or you and your significant other going through, and y'all have differences or different in opinion, or y'all break up over money situations, or you're saying that your baby father's a piece of shit, and he's saying that the woman ain't no good. You supposed to put those differences aside and let them know that we here to raise our kids. You know, it's a lonely world when you got to do it by yourself and you ain't getting no help. And then on top of it, you degrading your parenting. You degrading the father degrading the baby mama. You know, we need to put that aside. We need to try to take control of our children and raise them the proper way they need to be raised, and teach them values and teach them the do's and the don't. If you have a son cannot only be raised by a mother, it have to be raised by a father. And if a father is raising a child, no matter whether it's a woman, whether it's a female or male, they still need a female figure to raise that child. I'm tired of these people being ignorant. Only thing a child is a check. This goes out to these baby mamas who put these men on child support, and they get and they just have so much hatred in their heart. And the fathers ain't no better. They ain't no better. I don't uphold them either. They don't want to do shit either. You know, if you had differences with your baby mama, you and her can't get along, do your job. Respect it. Take care of your child. Don't go through that bullshit about, well, you know, if I can't deal with the mama, I don't want to deal with the child. I want my child to know me when I grow up. I don't want him to feel like, yo, I ain't got no daddy. Where my father at? Or I don't know who my father is.
Wow. Yeah.
And you know, it's sad. It's really sad. Mm-hmm. It's really sad.
It's good that you bring that up, Fat, because actually, statistically, children from fatherless homes are more likely to be poor, become involved in drug and alcohol abuse. They're more likely to drop out of school, and they're more likely to suffer from health and emotional problems. Those are actually, that's like scientific data, like what numbers have shown. So,
but they
you bring up a
program
great
us
point.
like that.
Yeah, they said boys are more
like
likely to become involved in crime, like boys who don't have their father in their home. And then the girls, they say the girls that don't have the father in the home are more likely to become pregnant as teens.
Well, that's how they got us pegged out. That's in every black community. They teaching us, and they installing in us that, oh, y'all ain't gonna be shit no way. So you got to get your, well, it's okay for you to get on welfare. It's okay, nigga, you go out on the street and hustle. Well, you know, you'll be a drug dealer. Oh, you'll be all right. Then you become a drug dealer. You hustling. They put you in the prison system. Then you in the prison system. You come back out. X amount of your life is gone. Mm-hmm. X amount of your life is gone. Sometimes people go and do crime and go on 20, 30 years old, and they kid, when they left their kid was 1 year old. Then they come back, their kid's grown. The kids have no memory of you. They don't have no memory of you. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's my dad? Oh, well, when the last time you... Well, I was 1 year old when the last time I see my dad.
Yeah.
That's level of destruction. Black people, it's level of destruction. They are trying to destroy you. You're not understanding this. They're trying to destroy you. They're trying to destroy our race. So, wake up. Wake up, America. Wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And you bring up... I agree. You totally right, Fats, because it's actually, you know, the way I always looked at it, and, you know, just being among this stuff and working in foster care and doing all this stuff over the years, it's like, I could see how the system is actually, like you said, it's pegged for us to pretty much be dependent on the system, right? It's designed to make... I'm gonna use I'm a black woman, so I'm gonna use myself as an example. It's designed, from what I see, to make it look like we don't need the family system, the family structure anymore. And that's a lie. That's a big lie. And I say that because of something you mentioned. You reminded me of this because of the fact that when we're not together, if we have children and we're not together, because of the child support system that they've conveniently created, that is, you know, that's a whole thing. Because of the child support system conveniently created, I don't have to necessarily force a relationship, or not force, but I don't have to necessarily feel like I have to depend on or need the father around, right? Because of the welfare system, I don't have to necessarily think that we need our family to be whole, because the government could be the extra step in and give the extra financial back, right? And it's sad because that is the biggest thing that's drawing a wedge between our families, like, and making us feel like, oh, I don't need him. But you might not need him, but those kids need their fathers. Those kids need their fathers and their mothers. You know?
Amen.
There's a reason why a woman and a man come together to create a human being, right? We both have different things that we put into that human being to grow, to become a functional part of the society, right? But everything in society right now is built almost to rip that apart.
Yeah.
And it's very similar to, I hate to keep bringing it back to slavery days, but it's very similar to slavery days.
Yeah.
They bred us, right? They bred us and ripped us apart. I want to go to the comment section real quick and see what some of our listeners are saying.
Okay.
We got, let me see, Olivia. What's up, Olivia?
What up?
I think been held out against parenting instead. Yeah, and not all women are like that. Not all breakups are. Some breakups are amicable, and some splits, we're able to. Some splits are able to kind of negotiate, or still have a good system in place where the child is taken care of by both parents. Yes, that does exist. So shout out to you guys that are holding it down separately. And also we got, let's see, Sean said, could you take care of the kid? Your check is $125. How you living off of that? Yes. So that's one of the things I was talking about, Sean, is like, got a call.
Caller, how you doing? You're live on Barbershops and MICZ.
Hello.
Bring it on.
Hello.
Yeah, just want to get in on the call in the conversation.
Yeah, chime on in. Come on.
Okay.
All right.
What's your name? Where you from?
Yeah, I'm Dale. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. What's going on?
All
What's
right.
up?
Welcome.
What's up, Dale?
How you doing, Dale?
What's up, J.Mac? What's happening?
What's up?
Nah, I just want to, 'cause I know y'all was talking about, how many times, men or women, will let, or what was it, will let the, one another come back into the relationship, after, they growing up and, cheating and all. So, I just want to, get some input on that.
Okay.
I just think, like, the reason why,
Turn down your radio.
Don't wanna...
Turn down your radio a little bit.
Okay.
So we can hear you good and clear.
Oh, back. Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think the reason why, because, they too afraid to let that person go. I especially, they had, been together for a while. So you gotta think about it, they got, they emotionally attached and all that. Although they had some little disagreements and, they doing stuff to upset one another. I just think one of them is they somewhat take the relationship serious, but at the same time, they want to play the field.
Well, let me answer this. Let me share this with you. If she in a relationship and she want to play the field, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Either you with me through the thick and thin, or you ain't with me at all. Because I don't have no time, when you're a full developed grown man and mature man, you don't have no time to play no games.
Right. Absolutely.
I'm with you.
You don't have no time for that.
I just think the reason why I women taking guys back, like the young lady was saying, they have low self-esteem. And I can see that. Yeah, you have low self-esteem, and, they in their eyes, they think that's the best they can get. Which,
well, let me share something else with you.
Yeah.
Caller, let me share this with you. And one thing I learned about women is all women want attention. They don't care what kind of attention it is. If you a man and you not giving her attention, she gonna step out on you and seek attention, even though it's the wrong attention or the right attention. So if this is your lady, just say out of normal. Oh, well, honey, you look good today. Or, honey, just compliment her. Make her feel special. Make her feel like a trophy.
Right.
Because if you can't do that, she gonna seek attention somewhere else. It might not be the right attention. It may be the wrong attention, but she gonna seek it because she's feeling
absolutely.
that she not getting attention at home, or you not giving her the right attention she wants. You can do everything in your power. You can pay the bills. You can buy her this and that, but it's still not enough. It's still not enough. See, the little things what count. Even though if y'all just sitting home, popping some popcorn, watching a movie, and just kicking it like you kicking it with the homeboys.
Yeah.
She may appreciate that.
Yeah.
Words are valuable. Words are precious.
We get some feedback. I think it's coming from Dale. Dale, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Del. We appreciate you. Big up to you,
Del.
Del.
We're looking out.
All right, no problem.
So I want to go to the comment section really quickly and just address some of some of our listeners have been saying. I think, let me see. Mike said he believes the same way the mothers can talk to a court about the fathers, I believe the mothers can talk to a father about what's going on with their child. That's a great point. And then Olivia, she said that she disagrees. I think she was disagreeing with something I said earlier about the government. She said, I disagree. The government doesn't always divide the family. It's also individuals as well, which is very true, Olivia. That's very true. We as a people, we do have to work on, first of all, I don't even want to, this a whole, I probably take another hour, but being equally yoked and going into this thing, knowing and understanding what we're doing when we're creating a human being. So yes, you are very correct about that. Also, I wanted to speak to the fact that anytime that we're dealing with something, I think we should normalize not involving the court system unless it's absolutely positively,
detrimental,
vital to helping the situation. Like unless there's some, now I do believe there are some cases where there are some, where if you need protection, like a protective order of some sort. If you under danger, now I'm not. Don't, please understand this. Let's be clear. If you are in some sort of dangerous situation, abusive situation, get out, separate, do what you need to do to be away from that, and get the help that you need from any of these systems, right? Because that's, somebody's threatening your life or the life of your children. Okay. But what I will say,
man or woman.
or woman. And what I will also add to that is that, going back to what our listeners said, we do have to get in the process of hearing.
We got a caller calling in. How y'all doing today? Caller, how you doing? You on live with Barbershops and MICZ.
Yo, what's good?
What's good with you? How you doing, caller?
Chilling. Yo, I just want to chime in real quick.
Come on with it.
First and foremost, you know what I'm saying? When people break up and there's a child involved, you're going to have animosity. You're going to have anger. You're going to have people with bad feelings, bad taste in their mouth, especially depending on how y'all broke up. You know what I'm saying? If you broke up with your lady and you cheated on her,
caller, can you turn your radio down?
Turn your radio down, caller.
Right back. There we go.
Yes.
There you go.
Y'all hear me better now?
Much better.
Much better.
Yeah.
All right. So like I was saying, right? If you have animosity already, because pretty much if you cheated on her, she wants that get back, that's where she goes to court. That's where that child support come in, and that's where the bullshit come in. You know what I'm saying? So most of the time, that's what women, that's their way to get back. What they fail to realize is you could be getting way more money from that man by just having a conversation versus going to child support. But women don't think like that. You know
Men don't either. Men don't either. That's true too. Men don't either. But you got to look at this fact too, is it's no longer about you. It's about the child. It's no longer about you. So you got to put your differences on sides, and handle your business and be about your business and be about your children or your child. And see, I can testify against that because I was in a situation like that. So I know and I learned, it's a learning experience, how the way you deal with your baby mama or your baby mama deals with you.
Saying. I've been in a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm in that situation. You know what I'm saying? I was still living with my ex-wife, paying child support for my kids and taking care of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
On top of that, I'm going to work. My checks is bullshit, $125. How was I supposed to take care of my kids? When I did move out, my checks, how am I supposed to live?
I don't care. I don't care.
That's the comment you get from the judge. They don't care.
I don't care. And she had that mentality.
How am I supposed to take my kids to a movie or anything?
Go ahead.
You chiming. I'm sorry, sister. How you doing?
No, it's okay. I just wanted to speak on a woman's point of view because as a woman, I just want to say that I understand a woman's, what y'all call a woman's scorn, right? A woman's rage, a woman's bitter. And what you were speaking on, that's just what that is. The fact that somebody can take another person through a whole thing of, going back and forth to court, fighting, battling over children and things like that, that's nothing but bitterness and anger, right? The way you got but you got different types. There's levels to it as well. You got two types. You got different types of women. I'm not even gonna say two types. You got the type, it's more than two, but you got the type of woman that gets angry and bitter and she takes you to court and tries to get everything that she can from you because she might need it. You got the type of woman that gets angry and bitter and it takes you to court because she don't even need your check, but she want that control and she want to show you that she can get you back somehow, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we distinguish that when we're discussing this because all women are not one way or the other. You got some women that are definitely just angry about the breakup. They're angry about losing the man. They're angry about their family not being how they wanted it to be or how they expected it to be. So that get back is a whole different get back than the woman that's that was below your socioeconomic level, that didn't have anything when you met her, and that you supported her fully, and that she expects that support even after you've broken up.
Yeah.
Can I chime in on this?
It's a part of the game.
But hold up, I'm about to break off. But I just want to say, y'all doing a great job. Keep doing what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? And tell your man stop. Don't bring up the movie no more because hold up, I ain't see it yet. You know what I'm saying? Let me see the movie. I appreciate you.
No doubt.
So shout out to the whole Evening Rush Network. And you know what I mean? Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow to the Evening Rush, man. You already know what it is, man.
Absolutely.
Yes. Shout out to the Evening Rush.
Can I say something?
Go ahead. I'm
gonna throw something like lightly in for all our podcasters that are really scrambling and searching and hustling and busting and looking for something to say. Something which is really good for us though, which will be called PHATZ. Definitely invest your money into PHATZ and everything like that though, so you'll be on track and whatnot and the whole deal. And we got the Evening Rush Network and everything like that. Shout out to them always and everything. But invest your money into PHATZ, y'all. That's what it is.
Big ups.
Big
ups. Go ahead, J.Mac. Big ups.
I was just gonna say, I want to give another shout out to our wonderful network, Black-owned network, the Evening Rush. If you're looking to start your dream, if you have a dream of doing a podcast, reach out to them. Shonda Don will get you situated, and don't wait. Do it today. Why not? You have something to say. Your voice needs to be heard. Do it. PHATZ.
Coming to you live. Coming to you soon. Barbershops might care. Barbershops and podcast accessories, hats, slippers, shirts, whatever you need, even down to socks, even down to underwear. Coming to you soon. So log in and check us out.
Our obsolete plan is to create a movement something that's never been done before and everything. We want to be the first to put it out there.
Y'all
And as we
enjoy
close it out, we say thank you to Big Mike. We say thank you to J.Mac. Y'all have done a great job. And we sure appreciate you, and we sure got love for our team.
No doubt.
Know it's all love and good.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. This is y'all host, Brooklyn PHATZ, J.Mac, and Bro Mike tuning out. Catch us next Tuesday, 6 p.m.